Hello and welcome from the Robert F. Smith Center for the Digitization and Curation of African American History here at the National Museum of African American History and Culture. My name is Doretha Williams and I serve to direct the center. We are dedicated to digital preservation of local history, believers in the knowledge and wisdom of our elders through genealogy, and engaged in the development of future museum professionals. This center prioritizes community and institutional engagement beyond the National Mall. Today, our Family History Center will present Chosen Family and Kinship Networks, identifying family and community during and after Reconstruction. This is all a part of the Speakeasy Evening, Historically Speaking, Constructing Community program here at the museum. Hannah Scruggs and Lisa Crawley will take you through the search for familial ties during slavery and Reconstruction and how we use genealogy to do the search today. We will also be reviewing how we research chosen family networks and LGBT communities. Thank you for joining us today for this program. Please visit our website for more information about the Smith Center. And please visit our story sharing platform at communitycuration.org. Feel free to upload your family stories and include your kinship networks along with thousands of other families here at the National Museum of African American History and Culture. Take good care and enjoy the program.
Hello, my name is Hannah Scruggs, and today I'm here with my colleague, Lisa Crawley. We are both genealogy reference assistants at the Robert F. Smith Explorer Family History Center at the National Museum of African American History and Culture. Our presentation today is about documenting and finding chosen family and kinship networks in the records using examples from the Reconstruction era. Chosen family is a term used by many people in the LGBTQ+ community to name family outside of a shared DNA or marriage, and to recognize familial love and relationships are not exclusive to the families we're born into. Even though chosen family members share deep connections, their names are not often linked through the paper record. During our presentation, we invite you to think about and write down people's names in your family, biological, chosen, and extended family. When we're doing genealogy and talking about tracing our families, we're often talking about finding direct ancestors and those who we share DNA with. Though this is important, our direct ancestors alone don't tell the whole story. Chosen family, extended family, and play cousins are just as important to research and learn about, and can help us learn the stories of the communities that shaped our ancestors. Through learning about community, we may see more pieces of our own family tree, but can also learn about the larger family and community networks, some of which were formed during slavery. Plantations were full of chosen families and kinship networks, as nuclear families were separated through sale, self-emancipation, and death. Creating strong familial and kinship networks across local plantations was crucial to survival. When researching ancestors in the 1870 and 1880 censuses, paying attention to neighbors and people who share a surname may indicate connections forged during slavery and communities that were strengthened during Reconstruction. The Freedmen's Bureau is another place to look for communal and family connections. Marriages, custody battles, schools, and other community connections are documented for the first time post-emancipation in the Freedmen's Bureau. Here we have Millie Christine McCoy, famous performers in the 19th and 20th century who were at the center of a custody battle documented in the Freedmen's Bureau between their enslavers and their parents. Other records about families being formed and searching for one another can also be found in these set of documents. Newspaper ads like this one also point to the desires to connect with and search for family members and kin networks separated during slavery and the Reconstruction era. These were placed between the 1870s and the 1920s, and people continued to try to connect with family members that were separated during this time. And now I'm turning it over to my colleague, Lisa Crawley.
So when we look at the censuses of this time period, I really can't say enough about their importance. The 1870 census was the first census where all African Americans were listed with a full name. And of course, it is the first one after the end of the Civil War and the beginning of emancipation. Although some historians believe there may have been an undercount with the 1870 census because of the ongoing devastation of the Civil War, it remains a critically important resource in African American genealogy. While the 1880 census is believed to be not only a more complete census, but it also lists the members of a household by name and also their relationships within that household. And so on a typical census, it will start with the list of a head of household and everyone else. So you may see a head, a wife, a son, a daughter, a nephew, a daughter, a mother, whoever makes up that particular household. The 1870 and 1880 census are also critical in identifying historic Black communities and what Andrea Roberts refers to as the freedom colonies of Texas. These communities were the heart and soul of the African American community, where the first churches and schools were established, as well as civic and Masonic organizations. Historically, in genealogy circles, when researchers arrived at the 1880 and 1870 census, we encourage people to employ what some people call Nettie's rule. And that was to scan those pages about 10 to 15 households back and forward, looking actually for slaveholders. We use this same tool, though, also to look for extended family members. So we want to keep in mind that this is a great time not only to research the common surnames that you're familiar with through your family history, but you want to look at surnames that you're going to find in family Bibles, in the cemeteries where your family members are buried, as well as the early churches that they belong to. In looking for your family, we always want you to reach out beyond your particular nuclear household or even your extended family and begin to research the neighborhood and extended community to see what you can find out about that entire community. As we take a deep dive into the post-Civil War period and Reconstruction areas, we find a people in motion, often on the move, creating families, searching for families, and finding family members. And as Hannah alluded to earlier, African-American households in this period not only consisted of biological family members, but also extended family and people who had no family and were adopted into African-American households. So we always encourage our guests as they look for family members to begin to research local history and the critical role that all these institutions played in establishing Black communities. When you begin doing genealogy research, always keep an open mind because you never know how people are connected, who they're connected to, and what you might find in doing genealogy research.
So at the end, this is towards the end of our presentation, we're encouraging people to go back to the list that they may have created earlier or thought of at the beginning of our presentation. Will your descendants be able to identify all the members of your chosen family and household through government records created now and any personal memorabilia and records that you may leave behind? LGBTQ people and chosen families have always existed, but the world of genealogy is just now recognizing the importance of these connections and the stories of our LGBTQ+ ancestors. It's especially important to think about these connections as we have ancestors in the community that are being recognized for who they are, and as more LGBTQ+ people are aging with advances in medical treatment of HIV and AIDS, with more legal protections through the courts, and with a larger visibility and acceptance in wider society. With further access to and lessening stigma around mental health care, we have hope for a larger, community of LGBTQ+ elders in the future. With all of this knowledge, we want to think about how we record the stories of our LGBTQ+ communities for those that come after. How will our descendants be able to identify the members of chosen families and households? Will it just be through government records, or will we leave behind stories, memorabilia, photographs clearly labeled for people that tell the stories of communities and the vibrant life and culture they create? Thank you so much for joining us for our presentation. As always, reach out to us at Family History Center at si.edu, and we look forward to hearing from you.